Hi, this is Cynthia, and I'm here with Prophetic Flow, and I'm here to talk about meditation. One thing about meditation is that a lot of times we think that it's just saying nothing and doing nothing and just being in total silence, which is the truth, but is and also, we can meditate through music. We can meditate through just seeing visions in our heads, or meditate on a flower, a focal point of a sort. That's why they have things called mandalas, where you look at those and focus on the center and then allow the thing to blossom in your head. And then what's the main thing is about meditation is literally to get your mind off of the outside world and start concentrating on that moment. That moment is the most important part of the moment. A lot of times in our waking lives, we live in the future, thinking about, worrying about what's going to happen, or we live in the past, worrying about what already has happened, and we are not appreciating the moment or the present. So, what kind of got me really interested in meditation is the chakras. And chakras is only um, energies, and they're energies that line up the middle of your body, and they sort of look like this, and they spin around, and they have light. And these are glow sticks, and they have light to it. Well, I tell you about this. You hear people say that I can see your aura and it's a certain color. Well, that's because the light inside of you show, and they call it the chakra, and it lines up from your pelvic, your spine, all the way up to the top of your head. Okay, so there are six chakras in your body. Okay, this one at the bottom is red. It's pink, but it will say this is red. This red right here represents the root. It's the primal survival, instinct of our being. You know, um, they say that in the back of your spine there is your spirit just resting, and it's a serpentine-like spirit, not a serpent. Serpentine, that means a snake-like, but it rests in the bottom of your spine, and it stays there asleep until you wake up and start feeling God or the universe or flowers or whatever. But sometimes we are spiritually asleep our whole lives, and we never wake up the spirit and let it rise all the way up to the top, and then that's where spiritual awareness and growth is. I need you to sit right here. That's my grandson Emmanuel. So I'm teaching right now. So can you sit there? Okay, so that's the red one. And once we start activating this particular one at the base spine, we start becoming aware of, hey, I am alive and I appreciate life. And then once you get to that part, then you move up to the orange. And the orange one is, representative of, you know, let's see, water, because the first one is earth, earth, wind, and fire. This is earth, and that means that's the basic, the beginning of all things. This is water. That means there's a flow going on, the flow of passion, the flow of basic instincts, you know, attraction, primal flow. It divides and it unites and it balances. And you ever hear about in relationship that opposites attract? Well, it comes from the aura, the orange aura. It comes from that, learning how to accept the passion in who you are. The third one is passion. This is the fire. The fire. This has to do with identity and the personality. The yellow. The yellow one is set between in your stomach. This is your stomach. This is your pelvic and hip area, and this is your lower spine. Okay, spine, pelvic, belly, stomach. Okay, once you get to your stomach, you're going to find out that it is totally uh, about fire and passion and power. Once you get to the yellow chakra, it is saying, I feel the power of who I am. And then, but that's when you have to tame it, because once you find out who you are, you start, just going everywhere, wanting to find it. But you have to grasp it and start learning. And I'm taking notes so that way I can stay on point here. And so, once it's awakened, we must tame the power. We must practice diligently how to bring it into our bellies. The power that burns through the ego. The ego is the false self, the mask of who we think we are. When we say, oh, I'm a teacher, I'm a preacher, or I'm your mother, I'm all this. But really, who are you within? Who is that person looking out of those eyes? That's the real you. And once you start knowing the real you, it doesn't matter what your title or your role is. What matters is who you are. So then we'll move up a little bit higher from the belly up to the heart. This is the green one, the green chakra. Okay? This one is what softens you. You can tell when the green chakra is ignited, because all of a sudden you start understanding the love of God. And you just know that He loves you uncompassionately. I mean, unconditionally. Unconditionally. Sorry. And so then you start acting out in love. You start living your relationship in a loving way. You start reacting lovingly. What used to set you off doesn't set you off anymore. Or when you're set off, you start thinking, that wasn't the best way. And you would concede and apologize and continue to grow in this area. So it brings about a softness. It awakens your heart, and it becomes lighter. You become a lighter person. Heaven and earth, male, female, the softness, the deep. You all of a sudden start having compassion for people. And there's always a pulse of love in everything you do. So then we'll move on up a little bit higher to the blue. Blue is the one for the throat. This is communication. Okay? So, but let me say about the other one, earth, water, fire. And the fourth one that we just done, the heart, is air. Okay? And so then the fifth one now, it's just what they represent. Represents purification. And it's located in the throat area. And in this throat area, this is where the core vibration is. Everything in the universe is based on vibrations. So this particular vibration is, like A-I-O-U, or vibration, or just communicating, giving out whatever it is. But it is the sound of self-expression. It's the sound of language. It's the sound of communication, and it comes through the throat. But in order for it to come through the throat, it had to come from the heart. And this is the purification section of your chakra. Then the other one is the indigo, and that is right here in the middle. This is where you see, you're seeing. And this here pierces into the third eye, or the vision. Sometimes you can see things before it happens. Well, that's exactly what happened. But what's going to happen is I'm going to take a break right now and do a part 2, so that way we can finish the whole meditation, and then we'll do a little meditation and we'll go from there. So this is Cynthia with Prophetic Flow. Don't go away, and we'll do part 2.